being recorded. Meeting is being recorded. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Vibe 101. So today I'm going to be giving you a tour of the 75-inch Vibe Pro. So if you have the 75-inch Vibe Pro and you're excited and want to know how to get started with it, then you are in the right place. My name is Denise Gutierrez, and I am the Customer Success Manager here at Vibe. So I'm here to help you learn how to engage and collaborate with your team and be able to learn tips and tricks. If you have any questions that you would like for me to answer, we're going to have a Q&A portion towards the end of this. If you want to send me an email, leave me some feedback in regards to how we can make the product better, I'm here to help you. So let's get started today. We are in the Vibe 101 for the 75. So on today's agenda, we are going to be going over the Whiteboard buttons. Then we're going to dive into the Canvas overview. So I'm going to go over what the Canvas app is, what's it for, and then I'm going to give you a little bit of a whiteboarding tutorial. So just a quick run through of what the buttons do and how to leverage it. Finally, we'll move on into our Q&A portion where you will have the chance to ask questions either in the chat portion or leave them in the Q&A section. Now, let's get started with the Whiteboard buttons. What do I mean by Whiteboard buttons? So on the screen, you are going to see all the Whiteboard buttons and their official names. You're going to hear me call them by what I think they look like to me. So we're going to start off from left to right as we are looking directly at the board. So on the first side, we're going to have our home screen. That is the house, as I like to call it. So let me change here my color. Down here, we have our house. So our house will go ahead and take us back to the home screen. The home screen looks like this, depending on if you've configured it, and I added a cool wallpaper. So that is how what happens when you hit the home screen. And now how do I get back to where I was? I like to hit the app list over here. Now, next we're going to go ahead and move on to, and let me pull up my canvas so that we can continue. The back button. So the back button will send you, just like it sounds, back when you are on third-party apps. Next, we are going to move on over to the center of our screen where we have a few other buttons in there. So this one right over here, that is our app list. This is the one that I clicked on in the home screen that took me back to the apps that I have. So I'm going to click it here just to show you. So this is our app list right over here. Again, so get back to the screen. I can either do what the next button, which is this one right over here, to show me all the apps I have open, where I can just click through and go back. So this is the overview of all the apps I've got open. Now, another useful way to use the overview is when I tap on the overview, this is where I can go into split screen mode. So you can have two screens, one on each side. So for example, let's say I want my Vibe Canvas app to be on one side. I'm going to long press it. And then now we have these little prompts on the side. That's kind of like a blur that says drag here. So I'm going to drag it there. Now to engage the other one that I want into split screen mode, I'm simply going to tap on it. So for this one, I'm going to tap on that. And here we are. We have it in split screen mode. We are allowed to toggle the ratio. So what that means is if I tap in this one in the middle, I can adjust it however I'd like. And then I can also kick it off that way. The next button is our Vibe Canvas button. So if we are out here, let's say in our app list zone, and we want to go back to our Vibe Canvas, we can simply hit that one and it takes us right back to the Vibe canvas. In the center over here, this is where you have your pinned apps. So these down here are my pinned apps. What does that mean? So these are the apps that I thought I utilize the most. So if you saw me swipe up, that's another way to go get out of the window you're in. So for example, my pinned apps are Chromium browser, my files, and then YouTube and Spotify, because that's what I use the most. Let's say I want to have my another app be there in the center. So I'm going to go ahead and drag out my Spotify just to illustrate. So let's say I am here and I would like my Spotify. I'm going to long press it and simply drag it in. Another option to put that into my section here on my shelf, my pinned items, is long press. Here's where I have the unpinned from shelf, long press, pin to shelf. So that is one option here. The cool part is if I'm in Vibe Canvas, I can see my most used apps and toggle quickly between them. Next, we've got the ones right next to it. It's divided by a little bar. Those are our recent apps. So as you can see, my most recent app down here is Vibe Canvas. Next, let's move on to this side over here. This is the fun side. This is where we'll be able to find some of our quick launch settings, as well as be able to pull up annotation mode. So this is, again, the fun side. So let's start off with down here. This is our holding space, or I like to keep my screen. That's where your screen captures and your downloads end up. This is extremely important because when you download something, this is where it is and you can find them quickly. Now, to pull something in, for example, that I've downloaded before, all I have to do is long press and pull it into my canvas. Now it is part of my canvas. I'll go over how to edit these in the next section. Next, we've got our annotation mode. This right over here, this pencil. Now, this pencil allows you, and I'm going to get out of here and I'm going to open a new Chromium browser. So let's say we are browsing the web and I want to go ahead and bring something in that I find super cool. So I'm just going to go in here to the news and see news Google and see what pops up. So let's say we are here in the news and I really want to bring in the weather, for example. I'm going to go ahead and hit that pencil that is located right here at the bottom. Not to be confused with the Canvas app. This is annotation mode. What this does is now you'll see on this side of my screen, there is a black mini toolbar. So this allows you to be able to annotate over websites or any other apps that you may have open. So what does this even mean? Well, this means I can either just hit the crop section and just crop the section you want. So let's say I want to bring in the weather, right? I want to bring this in. This is the perfect size. I want to save that. My mini toolbar here has the option of just serving as a pointer tool when I have it engaged, or it also serves as an option to write over it. So if I go in here and decide I want to start writing over something after I save this, I'm going to save this. Let's say I want to pull up my annotation mode and I want to write over it. So I can write over this and say, wow, this is a great day to go on. I'll be able to also change the color. Now keep in mind, this is a mini toolbar, so you only have 3 options here. Now, let's say I want to go ahead and take a screenshot of what I've written down. I'm going to hit this button in the middle, which is our cropping tool. Our cropping tool, again, allows us to take a screenshot. So you saw me earlier where I took a screenshot of something without annotating over. This is an example of me annotating over it. So I'm going to do this. And then when I'm done, I'm going to hit this download button. Now I get saved onto this little bubble where I can either pull it into an email, put it into a canvas, save it directly into a drive. And all of this can be done by that similar technique of long pressing and dragging it in. So now you're able to send whatever it is you want to do with those pictures, like I mentioned earlier, put them in a cloud storage or email them. Now let's go on to our next system tray. So that is where your time is. So this is where you'll see your time, as well as some quick settings like your Wi-Fi, Bluetooth. So if you turn on your Bluetooth, you're able to pair a keyboard or a mouse or speakers if you would like. We've also got accessibility features. You can explore those. We've also can set your notifications as well as the screen capture option. Now, if you're wondering what's the difference between a screen capture and annotation mode, well, a screen capture, you'll be able to either take a photo of the screen, so a screenshot, or take a screen recording of the screen. You don't have the actual ability to write right away. You would have to click that button to be able to write. So that is the difference. I use the screen recording option when I am recording my screen for tutorials, so that's where it serves me. I also do just a quick screenshot in there. And again, it'll end up in that little downloads bubble that we saw a while ago, and we can do whatever we want with it after that. We've got an option here for casting, leaving feedback for us. The feedback one is if you're having any issues, such as technical issues, you can just tap on that one and it'll go ahead and send it right to our awesome Vibe support staff. And then you've got an option to hotspot. You've also got the option to adjust the volume. So you can adjust the volume here and select the speaker output. So if you've connected another speaker, here's where you'll be able to do that. If you've connected a microphone, here's where you can adjust the microphone. The Vibe Pro does have a microphone jack, so no need for any additional adapters for that. So you can literally grab a microphone, turn on your screen recorder, and keep going. Now, my favorite part about this particular system is that if I hit up here to the settings, it will take me directly to our settings. I say this because this is where you'll be able to find mostly anything that you want, such as personalization, setting up a quick sign-in pin. So on sign-in, you won't have to verify with your email every time. You'll be able to set up a quick pin. It's got to be a 6-digit pin. You'll be able to do that all here. Now, if there's something that you're looking for, but at first glance, you just can't see it, because I know this happens for me often where it's right in front of me and I can't see it. So a very helpful tool is coming up here to the search settings, and then you can go ahead and search in whatever you want. From here, you'll be able to quickly find what you're looking for. So if I'm looking for a pin, I can just type that in and see what pops up. So I'm going to hit pin, and now I have options here for managing my info. To get out of anything in the device, we can swipe up like I did earlier, and what that's going to do is it's just going to take me to my app list. Now I'm going to go back to my Vibe Canvas app. Next, we've got the sign out button. So it does exactly what you think it does. It'll sign you out, take you back to your home screen, and leave it in public session mode. Now we're going to get to the fun stuff, the Canvas app overview. So what is Canvas app? Canvas app is Vibe's native whiteboarding software. This is where you can jot down ideas, collaborate with your team remotely. You can also be able to export this later into integrated drives. So if you have a Google Drive, Dropbox, OneDrive that you want to save it into, you can. You also have an option of when you're done brainstorming or presenting to a client, you will be able to save it directly onto the device. And then again, similarly to how when we took a picture of something and we're able to send it, just drag and drop it into an email or anything else that we want, that's exactly how this would work as well. Now, the benefits of having your Canvas app is it is cloud-based. So the moment you start doing anything, it gets saved on the cloud. I'm going to just go over some of the briefly the buttons and what they do. Again, I'm going to start off up top and move my way down. There are several videos out there by Vibe that show you exactly how to whiteboard. So I'm not going to go super in depth. Again, if you have any questions, just leave them in the chat or Q&A down below. We're going to start off by orienting ourselves. So we're going to be discussing Vibe, looking at the actual board, and then we're going to move from left to right. So up top here, and I'm going to put this over here. So up top, we have our account information panel. This will show you all the canvases, and Vibe calls every file or project a canvas. So you'll hear me say that often. So every time you create a canvas, they'll be saved here automatically. You'll be able to access these across multiple platforms, such as your iPad, if you download the free iPad app, or the web app. So you can go to app.vibe.us, sign in with your Vibe credentials, and that is the same email you use to sign into the device. And voila, you will be able to see all of these and work from them without having to be directly tied to the device. So that's the cool part here. You'll be able to nest them into folders, view other templates. Vibe has a lot of templates already pre-built, as you can see here, but you're also able to make your own. So you'll see my icon there. I made those. If you want to learn how to make more, just let me know and I'll go ahead and send you the step-by-step instructions on how to create your own templates. Now, to get out of here, I'm simply going to tap on my canvas and we're out. Next, we're going to discuss the title up here. So whenever you first create one, they always default to untitled. Here's where you have the option to rename it, create a new canvas, join a canvas. Now, join a canvas is if you're signed in to the actual Vibe Canvas app on your iPad or on your computer and someone else is already on the board, they'll be able to share a 10-digit code with you. You'll type that in and you will be able to join that canvas. Now, when you share your canvas, what you're doing is you are only sharing this particular canvas file project. You are not letting everyone see everything that is in your account. As far as if I have 10 canvases, you won't see them. You'll only see the one that I sent you. And I'm going to go over how to share with others in this next section. Here's where we also got the option to export as a PDF, export to email, or export ... Export to PDF. We'll export it and save it down there. It'll show up on the bubbles on that other side where you'll be able to then disseminate however you see fit. Export to email. We'll pop up a box, type in an email address, and it'll export directly. We do this, export ... You'll be able to export to a cloud storage of your choice. If I want to export this to Google, I'm simply going to tap on there. First time you'll have to log in. After that, you just do export. When it's done exporting, we're going to get a nice little successfully exported up there notification, just so that we're extra sure that it went through. Next, you'll see the Vibe logo up top. The Vibe logo, if it is bolded and colorful, that means that you are online. If it is grayed out, that means that you are not online, but that when you connect, it'll save your actions. The star over here is how you're able to favorite them to find later in your account information panel. Next up here, we're going to move on to this side. So this bubble is the person who is signed in. So that is me. If I want to, for example, share with others. To share with others, I'm simply going to tap on the person with the plus sign. Now that I've tapped on that, I have an option to share via email. If I select this, I can also toggle between edit and view only. If I select the get canvas code, this is how we'll be able to share with somebody else so that they can do a join a canvas option. If I hit the down button, I have options here to share via a link. So I can turn that on and do a can view or can edit. We have this allow anonymous editors. What is that? Okay, so allow anonymous editors is super useful when you want to share your canvas for collaboration with external parties, which don't necessarily, they have really no use to create a Vibe account. They're not using the Vibe board often. they are probably just external clients that you want to share your presentation with. And this would be a good way to do it. You would select the Allow Anonymous Editors, and they'll be able to come in and collaborate with you on your Canvas. The only thing is you won't see who they are. You'll see a letter A for anonymous. If internally you don't want to allow anonymous editors, you definitely can, but you know, it is useful in some circumstances as well. And then if you are in the Canvas app, you can join with a QR code. So to get out of here, I'm going to tap right there. Now, seeing others collaborating in real time, I'm going to illustrate this really quickly. So on my computer, I am going to app.vibe.us. And I'm going to go app.vibe.us. It's going to take me to this Canvas that we are on. And you'll be able to see me in action. So once I get signed in, let's see, here we are. Once I get signed in, you'll be able to see me in leaving a comment. So let's see, I'm going to come in here and I'm going to leave a sticky right there. And as you can see, it happened right behind me. So I'm going to say hi. There we go. So this is what it would look like to have somebody collaborating on a Canvas in real time. So this is super fun. You see my bubble in the back. And there you go. That's just a quick little illustration of what that would look like. Let's move on to the triangle next to the square with the plus sign. That is our presentation mode. So presentation mode here. Wow, what did that do? So at first glance, you're probably thinking exactly what I just said. But in reality, what it did is it hid all of the titles, all those buttons, and made it less busy. So now you're ready to present. It's nice and clean. I'm able to toggle the pages by these bottom arrows down here. If I want to return, I can simply tap on the screen and I get all my toolbar action over here. So everything is able to, I'm able to annotate and use all of these things. So I'm going to tap on my screen and I'm going to be using my laser pointer. So you'll be able to see that. To get out of presentation mode, I'm simply going to hit that stop button and we are out. The next one is the comment feature. You're able to leave comments just as you would on a document. Now let's move on to the bottom portion. So what are these things down here? At the bottom left, what's that? So when you tap on that, you are going to get your Canvas settings. So here's where you have the option of changing the background color, as well as selecting grid lines, coordinates. So we'll make ours a nice little light blue. And that's what it looks like. So anytime you change the background, you're changing the background of every page in your Canvas. If you have 100 pages, which is the limit, every single page will be that color. Now, something that is super fun is that it is an infinite canvas. What that means is I can swipe about 100 times in either direction, and I'll be able to write on here. But sometimes when we share or collaborate with others, everybody likes their nice little space to write in every section. Well, sometimes they can get lost. How do we see everything that's written on a canvas in one view? We're going to go down here to the percentage sign. We're going to tap on that and then hit the fit option. Now everything fits in one screen and I'm able to then see everything all in one. Now, how do we navigate from one page to another? We do that with these arrows, and then the square with the number on it. That's another way to view our pages. This one's super helpful. So if I want to rearrange it, so let's say I want my page 4 to be my page 3, I'm going to long press it and pull it up, let it go, and it is now my page 3. Here I also have an option if I tap on it too. The first one was to make a copy. So I now made a copy of my page. If I want to delete it, I will hit the trash can and delete it. Delete this. And I'm going to move it back down. All right. So now that we learned what all the buttons do, let's go over the whiteboarding basics. So you're going to hear me say the word toolbar. And when I'm saying toolbar, I'm referring to this right over here. This is our toolbar. This is what everything's officially called. And I'm going to just quickly run through it. So first, our toolbar positioning. If I tap it here, it'll send me to the opposite side, so I don't have to be reaching on over there to find it. So I'm going to throw it back here because we're going to be on this side today. All right. Next, we've got our selection tool. Allows you to select objects, which then pull up a secondary menu. So let me put that there. The secondary menu allows for further customization. I can convert this into a different shape, change the outline, fill. The pencil will bring up my keyboard so I can continue editing. That one made a copy. All I have to do is long press and hit the paste. And now I have that copy over there. I'm going to put it down here. We've also got an option to cut, arrange, delete, and lock. So I'm just going to delete this. Next, we've got our strokes and colors. So I can pick the thickness and color of my writing tool. Let's switch it up. Let's do this bright purple. First one is a pen. Second one is a marker and highlighter. Again, I can highlight over all of these elements. Laser pointer, which as you can probably tell is my favorite. And then after this, we've got our AI writing tool. So this one will convert my sloppy handwriting into text. What does that mean? So here I am writing hello. Now it's text. Cool part about this is if I tap on it, I have that secondary menu and I can further customize it so I can continue adding onto this text. Or again, I have all those customizations options, whereas with a pen or a marker, I don't have those additional options. The Smart Shape does a similar thing, but for a shape. So it turned my weird square rectangle-y thing into a nice one. Again, secondary options. Eraser tool at first glance will erase pen strokes. You're like, okay, well, but I wrote a lot. How do we speed up the process? If we tap on the eraser tool, we've got the secondary option to clear a canvas or clear strokes. If I hit clear canvas, everything's gone. I do this quite often by mistake. To get everything back, we're going to hit that undo button, which is this back arrow right there, and we undid it. If I hit clear strokes, what that's going to do is it's going to clear everything I've written in pen. So as you can see, my hello and my square are not gone because that was turned into elements or text. Next, we've got our lasso tool. I can group these items together, move them around, resize, copy, cut, or delete. Next, we've got our text box. If I tap on it, I'm able to add text to the actual presentation. Tap on it, resize it, and do all of that good stuff. Next, we've got our sticky notes. Again, same thing. We can add text with the pencil, so I can say this is a sticky note. Done. And all of the next, we've got our smart shapes, which is just the shapes. We'll be able to select the fill. And here we've got straight lines and straight arrows. These you can also customize. So if I tap on that, I can adjust the thickness of it as well as the type of arrow and color. Now, I said straight arrows because these don't make any connection. So if you're flow charting, these wouldn't be the most ideal ones to use. If you're flow charting, I would definitely start by creating a shape such as a square, for example. Now you notice that there is a purple dot right over here. If I tap on that one, if I long press that one, I'm able to quickly duplicate this. And then this created that arrow. So we'll just change that arrow to black. Here you have the options again to select the type and the direction, but you can't select the thickness on flowchart arrows. So you'll see that. If I want another one, I can either have it going right, but if I want it to go down, I'm just going to direct it down. Now I'm going to illustrate this again. So I'm going to do the purple one, and I want this to go to the left, and I'm just dragging it this way. And here we are. So the connection will remain, as opposed to this one where it is just a freestanding line or arrow. Now, let's move on to the square with the plus sign or the import button over here. Let me get out of here. Let's do something. We'll do that. When you select the import button, here's where you have an option to bring in a presentation from your cloud storage or something you've already downloaded below. You can also bring in PDFs, photos, whatever it is you want to do. So today I'm going to bring in a slideshow from Google Drive. I'm going to tap on this one. It's going to import a page of every slideshow. My slideshow is 2 pages long. Here we are, our first page. I am able to continue editing. And whenever I make any notes on this, I'm only changing what's on the canvas. I'm not editing the original file, so you don't have to worry about marking up your original file because that's not happening. Now, let's navigate to the next page because I did a little mistake here. So we have got some pumpkins. It's obviously not pumpkin season where I'm at anymore. So I'm going to head on back to my square with the plus sign or import. I'm going to go back. And I'm going to hit that image tab that's grayed out. What this is a Google image search. So if you don't want to leave the Canvas app to do it, we're simply going to tap on here. And I'm going to go ahead and bring in a photo. So I think the next holiday, US holiday would be President's Day on Monday. I don't know if there'll be any cool pictures of that. But let's look for some spring flowers because, I mean, we can't go wrong with some flowers. So I'm going to look for some spring flowers, and then I can either hit enter or the go up top. Now, I live in Texas, so I'm going to select the bluebonnet. So what that's going to do is simply bring that in here, where if I tap on the actual picture, I'm able to, let's make this bigger. Let's have this cover up all the pumpkins. And here we are. Nobody knows about the actual presentation or what is going on. All right. So this is our import export button. Now, to close this, we're simply going to hit the X. And then we're going to go to the next page, which is the Q&A. So if anybody has any questions, now would be the time to start. All right, so it's being recorded. All right, so since there aren't any other questions, we are going to go ahead and end the session here. Again, I'm going to leave you with some resources, so you can always reach us at support@vibe.us. Check out our video tutorials page, or go ahead and review the Help Center for any relevant articles. I hope everybody has a great day. Thank you for joining.